Oh, hello, hello.
Something.
What's up,
Oh,
bud?
next week I'm gonna join it.
Alex, let's see, who can hear me?
I hear you.
All right, cool. Let's see. Oh, so we're just waiting for guys to come in. Come back in here. We're gonna keep it real simple. Alex, is that you?
Yeah.
Hey, good to see you. Good to see you. I'm gonna put this down here. I thought we'd warm up as everybody's getting in here with some aliens. What's up, Jack?
Hello.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Clayus.
Yes.
All right, so this is the first day back from spring break. We're gonna keep it a little easy going. But we're gonna warm up. We're gonna do a space shuttle with with liftoff. And then I thought we'd warm up with some aliens. It's basically like kind of an outer space themed, but it's like not like scientific outer space themed. It's more like just fun outer space themed. But the space shuttle should be pretty cool. I have to admit, especially with some of the all the smoke from like the liftoff. Okay, let's start. Let's get these characters going, and you can modify them, obviously, to make them interesting in your own. If you have a question, yeah, please ask. I don't know if you're raising your hand for my class or for the. Who is that up there? Is that Alex? Are you talking to me? I mean, you can talk anytime you want. Okay, here we go. You can ask any question.
I don't think he can hear you.
I don't think he can either. I wonder what's going on. Are you in the classroom with him?
No, but I can just tell.
I know, but I was like, if you can tell him to either come over to your station or whatever. It might be his first class. I don't know.
So do
Alex,
we need a piece of paper for this?
probably.
Okay, so
You can always draw out of your imagination. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I would get a piece of paper and a pencil and an eraser if you have one of those. Okay. While he's doing that, I'm going to start, I think, with these two circles. There's going to be a bunch of shapes that we use today, but one of the easiest and one of the most familiar is going to be the circle. In this case, they're alien eyes, and they're like touching. I don't know what is going on with this guy, but there's not much of a head or a face to speak of. So in order for me to get the shape of the head, I'm actually going to go into the collar, assuming that's a collar and not a mouth. I can kind of see that as being either. And then I can attach those eyes to the collar with like that shape of the side of the head. Of course, it's got antenna because it's an alien. And there's almost like lollipops or just like a stick with a circle at the end. Getting on to like some more interesting shapes. The body is a torso. Of the torso is a trapezoid. And it's not like a regular trapezoid. It's got like slightly curving, bellowing out ridges. So like the top of the trapezoid is the bottom of the collar. There's like the left side, the right side, all swelling out. And then where you would kind of normally have a waist or like a belt line, it just the alien just disappears. The title of this cartoon is called Friendly Aliens. So I don't know if you want to give this guy a little happy smile, make him look friendlier. I'm not sure. it looks like he does have elbows, and I think the other characters definitely have elbows. So I say that because you've got an elbow to wrist, and excuse me, a shoulder to elbow, and then an elbow to wrist. And honestly, the hand is not that bad for a hand that's that small. It does the palm, and then I guess he's got 4 fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll just give him 5 because there's room. I made extra room. We're trying to take it easy right now. We're trying to like get a nice warm up. So if you don't, try not to be too hard on yourself. This one has a it's a rectangle for the arm, and there's no like elbow joint. But the interesting thing is that there's a round part at the wrist, like the end is like round. So it's almost suggesting that the alien's arm is a cylinder. And that hasn't been, that really didn't show up in the last one. So even if I make stripes on his arm, I can make his arm look more cylindrical. It's funny because even though these are like very simple and like kind of silly drawings, they're the same like complex art concepts or not complex art concepts that you would use for drawing just about anything. All right, so I'm going to use that circle for the palm. With humans, you would probably use like more of a trapezoid or a rectangle, but he's not a human. He's an alien. So this guy's got 5 fingers on that side. 1, 2, 3. So he's got 4 and 5. So I guess I was right the first time, or maybe they're not completely bilaterally symmetrical. My hand looks more like a flower, and I am okay with it. Not a clear leg joint, but some suggestion that there could be a knee in there. You can have a human leg or like an animal leg have such a smooth transition from like the top of the leg to the bottom of the leg that you can almost bypass that knee joint. But in my mind, it's always a good idea to establish that knee joint. Looks like he's got some socks. I guess they have socks in outer space. And then there's like a little elbow for the heel, and then it turns into a round toe. I mean, I think he's hilarious. I didn't even notice that. Notice that like I put those bracelet lines, those black and white bracelet lines on the arms, not having ever drawn this before. So the trick to make it look more 3-dimensional, the artist used these little curves. If you were to draw like a Pepsi can next to this, there's the top of the Pepsi can, then there's the side of the Pepsi can, and then there's like the shading side, which would be the bracelet lines. And that's how you can suggest the cylindrical nature of things. Look at that, we're already getting into content. And I didn't mean to say Pepsi like it was better than Coke. I'm definitely more of a Coke person.
Thank you.
Knee, a hip to knee, and then knee. Full disclosure, I don't drink soda at all. I don't drink carbonated drinks. I drink fermented drinks. In fact, this is a kombucha, so it has bubbles in it, but the process of getting bubbles into the drink is not a carbonation process, it's a fermenting process. I just learned that this year from one of my elementary school students. Anyway, so I avoid the carbonation generally. All right, socks, and then we'll do this other foot. I like the heel. As an art teacher, I'm always trying to like set people up to have like a better time later on when they get into more complicated things. And when you're drawing heels, the foot, the ankle itself really is a rounded portion. You get the arch of the foot into the ball of the foot, and then you get this toe on this side. But most often when you put a shoe on, you get like a really aggressive angle. So this is I'm like looking through the shoe. I'm looking, through the shoe into where the foot is. So the anatomy is kind of more curvy, but you don't really see people barefoot very often. Anyway, so like this alien having this back square foot, I think it works. And then we'll add more stripes to his legs. It is already 1:15, which is crazy because I wanted to do at least 2 or 3 of these guys. Maybe we'll just sketch. Let me zoom out. So, oh man, and then he's coming out of this airplane. He's coming out of the spaceship. and he's actually exiting the spaceship. And that's what's really appealing to me about why I started with this guy. He's got this like platform that comes out in one long trapezoid. So might as well put that in there. There's a rock that's in front. We're going to be drawing some, kind of illustrated versions of, planets. And some of the patterns on these rocks down here are supposed to look like extraterrestrial. And I guess they kind of do, especially that smiley face down here. That's hilarious. It must be one of the hidden pictures. Anyway, I love this platform, but are we running out of time? Because I really want to do a spaceship with this crew. This is like a slightly older group, and then halfway, like 3/4 of the way through this class, the younger guys come in, and then that's when we're gonna switch to the planets. And then we'll finish the planets out. You'll leave, and then I'll kind of restart another lesson with the second group. That's generally the
Yeah,
format.
isn't that did we do that last time?
The space shuttle.
No, like the whole switching.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the exact same
Oh.
program. Same program as before. Nothing really has changed. And as far as the timeline goes, as far as I know. Looks like another Alex is coming in. Or Alexander. Hey, boss. Yes, please mute that. Thank you, Alexander. Actually, I will mute you. Good to see you. We're about to start a new alien, and then so you can just catch up right now. Let me just finish this door frame. Whatever. Door frame, rivets. I feel like the most interesting thing so far would be what's going on inside the spaceship. I don't know if anybody watches Doctor Who, but it gets your imagination going at the very least of that show. All right, let's do this other guy. He's running. I'm going to draw this guy super fast. So we've got the platform that he's on, and part of the art game is being able to make characters feel like they are, relative the same size. So I'm going to make my second alien, about the same size as the first alien. And there's different ways you can do that. You can analyze how big your eyes were, and then you can kind of repeat the shape, the size of the eyes. And then if you're lucky, then you can estimate the angle of the collar, and then you can attach those eyes to the collar. Check out the size of the trapezoidal torso. And then he's running to the side. So that's amazing. The arms, you want to do the arms first so that you don't have to erase. Now, of course, if you did the torso and then you did the arms on top, this line is very easy to erase. And again, we're just warming up. I like that they've got circle palms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fingers. Circle palm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's cool. So the artist invented an alien that's got 4 fingers on the left hand and 5 fingers on the other. It's kind of funny. I hope nothing's going wrong. I'll zoom out. Actually, maybe I'll move up a little bit. Any guys that went like super fast, this can provide you with a couple more aliens if you wanted to see the multiple deckered space shuttle construction. All right, this guy's running, so he's got one leg that's bent backwards, sock, which is like a loop, heel into the round part of the toe. The left leg's forward, and I drew it so I don't even get to draw the second leg. Hip to knee, knee to ankle. Hip to knee, knee to ankle. And then the ankle gives you the foot. I like the stripes both on the arms and on the legs. When you're sketching, guys, especially when you're sketching fun things like this, like always maintain artistic independence. Like if your piece looks different, or if you choose to make it look different, embrace that. This is your time. This is just an excuse to draw straight lines and curved lines to get warmed up. All right, it's now 1:19. So this is your 1 minute warning. You can add as much or as little as you want. You can put some there's some interesting textures. Some look like these little discs, these little black and white discs that supposedly are extraterrestrial sand, perhaps. Some more rocks. I do like that the rocks are bigger towards the bottom and they get smaller as they go back. You know, there's some kind of a, you know, the suggestion of perspective. I don't know what this is. This is that. Maybe it's a shoe sculpture. Yeah, take a minute or two and put on some finishing touches. You can add anything you please. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. Oh yeah, that didn't work. One of these days, I think we're gonna do a an American flag lesson.
I remember one of the first times I think it was the first time I went to this class, we did an American flag.
Oh, we did American flag waving in the
Well,
wind.
that was a virtual. Yeah, that was insane. I really liked that.
That was so good. That was like right when COVID started.
That was the first virtual class. But I remember the first thing we ever did in person was the crab, which was still one of my favorite drawings.
That's right. So, but you've still never even been to the studio where I am now. Have you been to the Mitchell School proper?
Not yet.
Cool. And gentlemen, we have summer camps all summer too. Shameless promotion. All right. Literally 1 minute more, 30-second warning. And then we're gonna do one rocket booster, and then all of the smoke, because this one image, the smoke is really gorgeous, and I'm more interested in the smoke than I am the rocket ship. So you'll see what I mean. Okay. This is the entire composition. What? Zoom out. So we got aliens all over the place.
That's pretty hard.
I know. There's a trumpet right here. There's a magnifying glass right there.
I do see a fork.
This looks like a watermelon. Is watermelon even a thing? Yeah, watermelon is a thing. There's the fork. Good call. There's a magnet. Oh, I guess it's actually a horseshoe in the door.
I mean, you always need a horseshoe in one of these things, right, though?
there usually are. This looks like a trowel. That was fun. These are, I mean, I've become friends with one of the people that does these hidden pictures professionally. She's actually retired now, but she said she really enjoyed working with these people, and I just can't. I'm like blown away with how good the art is all the time. Make sure all of this is on here. All right, so what we're gonna do is this rocket booster. If you want to,
That's nice.
if you want to expand on that, you can, but I'm going to zoom in. We're going to draw this rocket booster. And then I think the fun part and the challenging part is going to be getting all of this, smoke, and they're almost drawn like bubbles. There are hidden pictures in here, but it's not even, the drawing is kind of so nice that it almost like degrades it a little bit that there were hidden pictures. But whatever, it's fine. Got to make that money. All right. And that's the other thing. I will probably, what if I should slide this under? Maybe I'll fold it. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll fold my paper so in case we do have time to go on to the other side. I think this is as far in as I can go. All right, boys, let's do this one. Okay, so the cool thing is that we're starting from like one long rectangle. And if you want, and I don't know exactly what is the best move, like maybe we should start with a triangle at the top. Let's just like start, get your piece, start your drawing like towards the top of your page. And we will, this is the side of my page here. Just gotta make sure I have enough room. All right, so you have all the paper in the world. So if you make this like relatively small, we will be able to crop the top, side, and bottom. We got to draw this rocket booster first. So I'm gonna start first with a triangle. Make sure that's like kind of high enough. And I don't know if you have more information about these rocket boosters, you can apply it. We sketched one in another class from actual photos of the NASA ships and some of the Tesla ships or SpaceX, whatever. Some of them were curvy, some of them were painted solid. Some of them had little decals on them. You can bring, if you got more game than this guy, please bring it. So we've got to get the sides of our rocket booster, and you can use the edge of your paper kind of as a guideline for getting your straight lines. Now you do want to I try to make these lines a little bit on the lighter side so that if you screw up, you don't like erase something and it's like damage the paper. So there's like a mark that can never be removed. As you get to draw more, you'll get a sense of like, see how I'm holding my pencil like this? Like I'm holding my pencil like this because I'm like making really light lines. If I can choke up on the pencil and go really close to the edge and press really hard when I know where I'm going. But you can like ease up on the pencil if you're trying to make light lines. And that's kind of what I'm doing right now. It's just like less pressure, lighter lines. I'm going probably even harder than I would normally because I want it to show up on the Zoom. But I'm feeling pretty good about that. And then we'll close off the bottom of our rocket booster. There's seems to be like a nice little series of parallel lines at the bottom to kind of close that off. And whenever there's like if something seems easy, I always try to go for it. Like maybe you don't want to get like too taken in by details early, but it's such a long rocket booster, and I wanted to make sure I knew where I was on the drawing. So let's finish the propulsion, kind of almost like a propulsion cone. That I'm sure it has like a name, but it's a trapezoid. And it probably is a guard so that the smoke, everything doesn't come back up onto the rocket booster. And then this is the fun part. We're gonna actually create the explosion or the projection, kind of like the exhaust. I mean, this is exhaust. And I'm seeing, I didn't notice this at first, but do you see how there's like, let me zoom in a little bit. See how there's like two lines? There's like two lines here, like there's like four of them. 4 parallel lines, and then those are relatively straight. They radiate out, but then it's gonna like fall apart into all this extra activity. So the first notion of like a cluster is towards the bottom of this like big trapezoid, and we've got like these smoke plumes, and then these little circles that indicate random small puffs of smoke. Wow. And then there's all this smoke along the bottom. It looks like a foam party. You ever had like the fire truck come around and like they spray foam? I used to do that when I was a kid. And it was fun, but it's like the base of this. So this is the next big move, gentlemen, for our rocket booster, is to know where the bottom of your picture is. So you can actually see it on the design here. This is the bottom of my picture. So if I have my pencil, I'm going to establish the bottom of the rectangle so that you don't have to add foam and clouds everywhere. So and then as you find the bottom of the picture, then the next move is to build some foam out. And I'm just using these like nice cloud-like forms, cloud-like curves, until I'm going to find the edge of the picture. It's pushing down, and then it's going to be bellowing up all the way up the side of the picture. And so that's why I didn't want to worry about the rocket so much. We actually have a lot of real estate to cover
It's
with
free real estate.
all of this smoke. What's that, Jack?
It's free real estate.
It's free real estate. Well, I mean, the cost of the paper, maybe a fraction of a cent. As the smoke, is pushing down, it hits the ground, and it's gonna like go. It's gonna hit the ground, and then it's gonna come out. And if you see, there's this like collection. Do you see this like spiral almost? There's like this There's this spiral. There's like small circles that spiral into one big one. So I'm actually really into that right now. So I'm going to do a series of small ones that go along almost like this seashell spiral. So there's nothing wrong with putting in construction lines. So like I might have a cluster that comes here. This is definitely a cluster that comes here. And then maybe a second cluster that comes up there. And then it starts to turn into like actual smoke leading up to the top. All right, so I'm going to use this as the edge of my picture. And this is one of the most definitive movements inside of these launches. And it's amazing. It looks like the little circles, they look like rocks in a brook. Like they don't even look like, or they look like clusters of like bubbles that are like collected. And then I don't know what these straight lines are. Let me do this really quickly. I just found another element, which is fascinating to me. We've got this series of straight lines. Like look at this one. Like in between this and this, there's straight verticals. And then next to here, there's another vertical. And then in this cluster down here, there's another set of like aggressive straight lines. Zoom back out. And I think that just makes that like series of straight lines makes it feel like it's pushing up. It adds like some shadows. It adds some shadows in the clusters, but it also further emphasizes like where this ship is going, and it's going to the moon. Like GameStop, take me to the moon. Okay, so the key here is to not panic and to not work too fast. Like there's so much activity, there's so much going on, but let me boil this down into 3 component parts because I think we only need to know about 3 things. The 3 things you need to know are cloud shapes. So let's do this one cloud shape here. Cloud. That's the cloud shape. That's going to happen all the way up this side. The next one is like the independent cluster. And that's what's happening in this corner and down here. So you have these little, almost like bubbles. And if you want to think about them as bubbles, you can. And they really create a lot of activity, a lot of motion, a lot of weightlessness. It feels like atmosphere when you connect like a bubble. It's floating. It's not a dense material. Like this is metal. Our rocket ship is metal, and this is like force and like fire, and then this is like smoke and steam and crazy atmosphere. So okay, anyway, so that's the thing. We've got cloud shapes, Then we've got the bubble shapes, which happen small and large. And then you have these like little pockets of empty space. So say I do a cloud here and a cloud above. The space between clouds is that shadow area. Space between clusters. And you can invent them. Smaller cloud shape. Okay, so those are the three things: the cloud shape, the bubbles, and then these straight line vectors that indicate shadow and vertical direction. So it almost doesn't matter what your drawing looks like as long as you repeat those elements. And I'm just going to try and prove it here using bubbles, using clouds, using straight line vectors of shadows, more bubbles, big bubbles, small bubbles, big cloud puffs, teeny cloud puffs, massive cloud puffs. And then this is the nice thing, is like once you realize that you're working within a limited amount of marks, then you get to create whatever you want. So look at this one up here. There's like this little, starts with a cloud, and then it turns into a straight line vector. I feel bad because there's this one last element, which is like beautiful, which is the dot, which is like the stipple. And it's so underestimated in art, like I cannot even begin to tell you. The pointillism was a movement that, you know, they took brushstrokes and they made a bunch of dots, like dot, dot, Seurat. But like, just because this whole picture was made up of dots doesn't mean that other artists didn't utilize the dot and like the very fine speck of paint, and in this case, the fine speck of drawing. So you can use these little circles and you can use these little dots, and you put dots all over in these little clusters, and it makes it feel like there's debris, there's like dust, there's like, you know, chunks of whatever, you know, in this rocket explosion. It's not an explosion, it's a rocket launch. Jack, is this all making sense? Can I see what you guys are doing? Will someone hold up what they've got to see if I'm doing a good job? Whoa, yeah, yes, dude, excellent. Thank you. That thing's ridiculous. All right, good.
Can I show mine?
Yeah, let's see it. Whoa, sweet. I like your aliens. I like your alien rover. So yeah, Jack, yeah, the only thing I could see that could really improve that thing is if you close it off and crop it. You know, just like,
Yeah, I know.
almost like you're taking a picture. But yeah, it's great. I might take a break on the I think I might take a break on the clouds right now and just be like, whoa, and add some of these horizontal lines for my rocket booster.
I think we have to go to our second thing or something.
Yeah, what time do you really? Is it, I thought you guys got over at 1:45, but is it 1:40? If you have to go, gentlemen, you know, go. As soon as like the other crew starts to come on, I'll probably switch over to the planets, because if they if they come on and they're like, what the heck is going on right now? So I was planning on doing this rocket booster until about 1:40, which is, you know, a minute or two away, because I think that you guys do stay until 2 o'clock.
Bye.
All right, Jack, I'll see you, boss. If anybody else needs to go, just let me know before you do. I guess technically you could ghost, but in the next 2 minutes, I'm probably gonna wrap this up, and we'll switch over to some like, you know, relatively interesting and not as quite challenging planets. But I really do want to finish this up. But I get nervous because these other kids are going to start coming on, and I don't want them to get freaked out when they see all this work. There's an interesting thing, gentlemen, too, is that towards the bottom of these rocket boosters, they're pretty flat because the person doing the drawing is on the bottom. As they look up higher, you get to see the slight curve to the nature of the rocket ship. So the higher the rocket ship goes, kind of the curvier the line. It just has to do with the way the person is below looking up. There does seem to be some shading too down by the base of this rocket booster. That might help add. There's like definitely one line that's thicker than the other. Oh, what's that up there? That's a hidden picture of some kind. Maybe it's a bird. We could show some birds flying. Lovely. Okay. Let's do a 1 minute warning on this one. Does anybody want to show what they got before we stop? Yes. Cool. You've got this side of the picture ends here. You could if I zoom out, you don't have room for it, but if you were doing another one, it's like kind of a similar thing on both sides. So this is what I was hoping that I'd be able to like unfold my paper and do the left side, but maybe I'll do that with the next one. Nice shapes, man. Yeah, I'm glad you went into the rest of the ship. Cool. All right. All right, so now we're gonna move into like you could take a screenshot of this if you wanted to too, if you wanted to keep working on it. We're gonna move into these planets. And they are kind of interesting, like very interesting mark making. You could even add this to keep it on your page in like another location. And hopefully these guys that are coming in will pick up fast. Here we go. And this one is Saturn-like. Definitely not Saturn, but Saturn-like. This. All right, let's give this guy a go. Whoa, interesting. Okay, so I said whoa because you see the dotted lines, how they're at a different angle. So like there's this ellipse that runs around the middle. It goes thick, then it goes thin, and it comes back thick again, and then it goes thin again. That's circling our planet. And then there's these dotted lines that actually, a lot of times when they describe orbits, like the orbit of the moon, they'll refer to its path in these dotted lines. So in a way, you can almost make this like another planet out here. And then you can maybe add another planet to this one. So it looks like it's like a planet that's in orbit around, and that's like its pathway. It's kind of interesting. Okay, let's start with a circle. And again, if you can think of better designs to do with this planet, like please do. So we're gonna do a circle, and practicing circles is an artist's pastime. If you're bored and you got a pencil, just practice making the most perfect circle. That's good enough for me. I'm going to do the ellipse that passes in the front first. You can almost think about it like a planet surrounding, or you could think about like the debris, you know, that space debris. All right, so yeah, guys, if you have to go, please have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Hopefully that was fun. You can also email the school with some of your drawings. I can post them, and I just like to see them. I'm waiting for Landon to get on here. His audio is connecting, and that's usually when I need to force mute. All right, so if you do this long trajectory of, you know, this debris that's wrapping around, and then you can see that it starts to make the turn. It's just like a racetrack. You know, it's going to make the curve, and from this perspective, the curve is really abrupt. It's probably the exact same curve, but we're seeing the orbit from the side. Drawing rings around planets is actually really fun, and drawing rings around anything. I mean, you think about like this is like I got burned. I burned my finger on a frying pan, so I got this ointment for it. But if you look at the ointment from the side, you don't see the top of the ring. But then if you look at the ointment from like an angle, a slight angle, you can see this like ellipse that runs around it. You can see that it's circular. So from the side, you don't see it. From a little bit above, you get to see that ring. And that's kind of what we're drawing with this ellipse. Let me get these other guys in here. Everybody's starting to pile in. Landon, can you hear me, by the way? Can I get a thumbs up?
You have to work.
Cool. Finn, can you please mute that? All right, excellent. Brendan, good to see you.
Whoa, space.
We're going
I think
space,
this
dude.
was the end of the last class.
We're going space all day.
This was the end of the last class.
Right. Oh, Stacy's in the house. This is excellent. Letting Henry in. Grayson.
We're drawing planets.
We're drawing planets. If you guys are coming in, please mute your computers. We'll get some feedback. But I understand. If you have
What's up?
so all you gentlemen that have just arrived, you want to be able to, you want to start with a circle. All right, and I'm going to mute everybody. And please remember to mute your cameras. Yes. So I don't want to start again, but I will start with another planet. I started with a circle. That's all I did. And I was just saying that in the beginning, you want to practice like making circles. Like when I say in the beginning, I mean like in the beginning of starting to draw, but you want to maintain your practice of drawing circles like forever. You know, where you're drawing big circles from your arm or small circles from, you know, your finger. It's like such a healthy thing to practice. Anyway, so on this Saturn-like planet, we're drawing kind of like this, you know, loop. You know, it could be like a path. It could be space debris, but it crosses the front of our planet. And then just like a racetrack kind of seen from the side, it's going to turn and it's going to like wrap around itself. So where that turn is, it's relatively abrupt. And then it's going to do this long traverse behind the planet till it comes to this other side and makes that abrupt turn again. It's actually called an ellipse. And the only thing that you kind of have to worry about is that the one side of the ellipse is the same length on the left side and the right side. So how far is this turn here? Well, let's just hope that it's about the same on the left side. And I know some of you guys that have just came in or just catching up, and the guys that got here early, you're probably way done with this part. But then decorate the planet. Apparently this is a worm planet in the sense that there is an earthworm on the side of it. So this is from a hidden picture series. And I guess the artist thought that they could hide a planet or hide a worm in the planet. Let's get Teddy in here. Let's get Will in here. All right, excellent. Gentlemen, thank you so much for remembering to mute your cameras. Not your cameras, but your voice. We're going to draw a couple planets. We're going to draw a rocket booster and all of its exhaust. And then we're probably going to finish up with some aliens, just like some playful aliens.
Nice.
Actually, I think the technical term is
Because I like the shape of
not
an L.
playful.
You can move a lot
friendly.
with it.
Can I have a cup?
There you go.
Excuse me, Trevor, what is the technical term?
the title of the piece is Friendly Aliens. This one is
Yes.
not from that.
Okay, we can fill up water in your water bottle.
No, it's part of this.
Oh, okay,
Like you need a cup to make a round circle.
got it. Your water bottle will work great.
See here.
Otherwise, I think there's.
Cool. All right, Teddy, I got you muted. You're good to go. Great. Good to see everybody. Welcome to the class. I know there's some new guys. We basically draw this whole time. I'm going to talk through it. If you want to hold up your piece or raise your hand, my assistant Stacy is here, and she can photograph your work, and also make sure that I notice if you have a question or something. But there's a lot of kids in here, so basically it's going to be drawing all the way through. Okay.
Great to see everybody.
Yeah, Stacy, I'm glad you made it too. I really.
Same here.
I haven't seen you in a couple days. I missed you so much.
Same here.
All right. So in terms of these planets, we've got these nice little. You can start with this oval, and then that's got a frame. It's not like it's actually feels like it's a combination of Jupiter and Saturn, which is kind of interesting. But there's like some waviness going on. I'm just decorating the planet. If you guys have better ideas on how to decorate it, like please do. They could be. I feel like it's a little bit like hazy smoke, or even like waves.
I have to go now.
Anyway, I wanted to get the planet done because I wanted to like complete this planet before we started a new one with these like really interesting dotted lines. So we did like the solid, I'm calling it the space debris. It's like the ring of Saturn. Now these dotted lines that go around, one tilts up to the right and then one tilts down to the right. And I think it'll be kind of a fun thing. It's all look like they have their same axis point. So I'm just going to do this dotted line and see if I can capture. You can almost imagine like a race. Like you can almost imagine like a race going around the track. Like there's like a rabbit or a tortoise or whatever, and it's running around the track, and you're like charting its path around this track. Anyway, I'm actually pretty happy with what I just did right there. They could all start this middle point here. Each one of the tracks kind of starts from this axis point. So this next one, I'm gonna follow the path of this race down, turn the corner, come up. It's gonna pass behind the planet, reemerge on the other side, and then I'm gonna curve back to my beginning. It's cool. I mean, it's just like a circular planet that's got these 3 loops. The one that's the horizontal loop is the darkest one, and the line has variation. It goes really thick at one point, and then it gets thin towards the edge. I might have made that a little bit too thick on the turn. But this is gentlemen, this is a warm up for you guys. We're gonna try another one. That's gonna be, I know, hopefully as interesting as this one. And then just to like give it some some accents, you could throw in some stars. These are 5-pointed stars. There are 6-pointed stars. You could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6-pointed stars are gorgeous. And then whoa! I just noticed this guy up here. There's like a whole nother planet, and so let's put that guy in there. That looks like it starts with a circle, kind of a starting point for most planets. And then it looks like there's 3 horizontal stripes, 2 parallel and 1 crooked. And then I don't know, maybe it's a moon because it looks like there's like little circular craters. Hopefully you can tell that we're getting kind of populated, where our space is getting, it's starting to look a little bit like space with these other factors going on. I can give this guy some dotted outlines as well. Okay. Stace, did you get to sketch this?
No, I did not, but I would like to make a request.
What's your request?
Could you please add a shooting star?
Yeah, I can put a shooting star in there.
I know it would take you just a matter of perhaps a second.
I might zoom out. Should I go above or below? Maybe I'll do a couple shooting stars.
Thank you.
I'm happy that you're happy.
I am. I needed a shooting star.
Maybe we should put a little rocket ship in there too. All right, that's good. A little spaceship never hurt anybody. Okay, let's try.
Indeed. Are there any spaceships, or rather, are there any drawings if anyone would like to share?
Let's see. Might be too early.
Yep, that's fine.
Oh, nice. Look at that. Holy crap.
Oh, somebody's up there and I don't see it yet.
No, it's up
Oh.
there. Can you see?
Brendan, hold on one sec. Keep that nice and still. Freeze it.
So
Very
guys,
nice.
this is where I do like a 1-minute warning. So that was the first
Well,
planet. We'll
I mean,
start
well
the
done.
second planet here in a minute. You guys want to do a moon or a planet? I kind of want to do this moon. The moon's a little bit hard because it's got this, the sky is dark, but you guys don't mind doing shading, do you? We'll do a little shading. Let's do a little shading.
We need to do thumbs up since everybody's
Yeah, no,
thumbs
no.
up or
I
thumbs
don't,
down,
it's
since
kind of
everyone's
rhetorical.
muted.
It's kind of
Oh,
rhetorical.
there you go.
All right, so this is more, oh my gosh, Stacy,
Hmm.
you're welcome. I got you a shooting star.
Yes, yes, I saw that.
Skies over Texas, that's the title of this piece. Amazing.
Oh, I thought you meant in your drawing. That's beautiful.
It's kind of nice. Here, I think I'll do.
Come on, no aliens.
Oh, we're doing aliens. Don't worry. We're doing aliens next. This is more. You're right. This is like more of a literal.
No.
More of a literal sky. Come on.
Leave it.
Good. Don't be crooked. Okay. Yes. We've got an owl too. Sweet. All right, here we go, boys. Move this over. Oh, this way? No, this way. All right, gentlemen. I'm going to start with that moon, just because I'm obsessed with moons.
You are obsessed with moons, but I have to ask.
Yeah, it looks great.
Who noticed the owl?
Stacey, someone's holding up there.
Declan, hold that nice and still.
Multiple shooting stars.
Yeah. I like that. And I like the pattern, like they're revolving around the planet.
We'll take care of them. Yep, so we'll see them again.
Thank
Luke, welcome, boss.
Declan.
Luke, you got here just at the right
Big
time.
John. Oh, Big
awesome.
John.
Let's fire this up again.
That's really cool.
Look at my moon.
Wow.
Dude, you're already there, dude.
Did
Already.
you see
All right, I'm
Big
gonna catch
John's,
up.
Trevor?
I'm looking at them. Yeah, I can see some people. You have a better format. I'll check them out if they photograph them.
I'll send them.
Okay, so we've got stars, we've got a moon, and this is loosely based on Starry Night. Actually, there's a Van Gogh. Yesterday was Van Gogh's birthday. Did you know that, Stacy? Anyway,
No,
let's see if
no,
we can-
I didn't
let's
see
what we can
that.
do. I'm going to start with a circle. And what's going to be different about this drawing, which is why I was a little hesitant to start it, is because most of these objects are light objects up against a dark background. Now, I don't think we have time to shade everything, so it's just going to look a little bit different. So we'll do a crescent moon first. So I started with a circle, and then we'll do the crescent moon. So just to give you guys a heads up, we know that the sun is over here. So the sun is on the other side of the globe, but it's on it's angling towards this. That's how this moon is lit. So we have the light side of the moon, which has some dots on it. Looks like there's some textures. You could add like maybe a little crater here or there. And then for some reason in the Van Gogh painting, the far side had a little bit of a glow to it. So I'm just going to put this light band across that other side. Most often it's not there, when you observe the moon, but it's fine. And then let's fill in. And, I try to avoid too much shading in these classes because they kind of take a while. It kind of takes a while, but as long as your moon's not huge, you should be able to shade in the dark side of the moon. The way that the moon rotates is that we always see the same, the face of the moon always faces the planet all the time. It's just whether the sun is lighting it directly, partially, or not at all. And it's a larger conversation about how those cycles happen, but we just had a full moon actually. So if you look at the moon early this morning, or probably like 9 or 10 o'clock tonight, it should be pretty strong, assuming the clouds aren't out. So it seems as though there's some mist in the atmosphere, and so the light from the moon, the light from the sun is bouncing off the moon, and then the moon is shining its light on us, kind of reflecting the sun's light, and it's passing through this atmosphere. And the way that this artist is representing the atmosphere, the mist, and just the particles is by this kind of like scratchiness, which I'm all about. And if you have a question, please just unmute yourself and ask. Because I can't like, you don't have to raise your hand even. As long as it's-
Okay,
Alex, yes.
I have to go now.
Okay.
So bye.
Could you hold up your drawing so Stacy could take a picture of it, if you don't mind?
Yeah, sure.
But you don't have to.
Here, I have more paper, so the ones I could get was this.
Oh, wow.
Okay, can you hold? Oh my gosh, can you hold each one up with 2 hands for a second so they're nice and still? Well, okay. And can you hold them a little closer to yourself, Alex?
Oh, okay, like this.
Yep, just like that. That's
great
good.
work, man. That's great work. I'm glad you got to stick around this whole time.
Very, very nice.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Wow, I
You got
love
to
that.
do it on this
Is it a
project.
Martian? Space creatures.
Yeah, those are the aliens we're gonna do later.
Yeah. Thank you, Alex.
Great work, dude. Thank you.
And we'll see you next week for sure.
Okay,
See you next
bye.
week,
Bye-bye.
See you next
Uh,
Wednesday.
man. See you next Wednesday.
Great.
So let's populate the sky with some stars, and you want to do this is called theme and variation. So the theme is that we're going to make stars. The theme is that they all have triangular points. The variation is that they're different sizes and they have a different number of points. So this one that I made first was a 5-pointed star. So there's that cliche way that like everybody does where you go like that. Now that's good. It's a little sloppy because you have all these construction lines inside of it. So like it's cool also to get into the habit of being able to just use the triangle tips, and it looks like a different kind of star when you don't use the like that, the constant pressure on your, the 5-pointed star where you don't lift your pencil up. And artists have represented stars like so many different ways. I mean, there's some people that make stars just like little dots, like little circles, for like distant ones. In fact, I think you can even see some of them in here, like little constellations of those little dots. Orion's belt, 3 in a row. You can also do 6-pointed stars, which I think are like kind of the most beautiful as far as like stars in the sky go. And you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a cool thing. The way to think about that star, the 6-pointed star, is a triangle and then flipped and overlapping a triangle there. But again, you go a triangle at the top, a triangle at the bottom, and then 2 triangles on either side. And you get that 6-pointed star. It's just kind of fun. And then we can show that they are
Oh.
radiating light. And this is kind of like the classic radiating light sign where you have
Oh,
lines
you've got to
just-
hold that up again. Sorry. Brendan, hold that nice and still.
Oh.
Very, very nice. And I like the craters you put on that as well. Yeah, we got that thumbs up going.
Cool. And so the only way to make these stars look like they're light up against the background is to shade the whole night sky. And we just don't have time to do that. You can actually see how nice this one star is that I did up here when it's a light star up against the black of outer space. Pencils really only become a dark gray anyway. Pens are able to go really dark. So maybe if we just did like this dark glow around, 1 or 2 stars, you can get the idea that it's a night sky without having to shade the entire night sky. I wonder if the same is true for our moon. I guess the moon stands out a little bit more if you shade the night sky around it. I love that I'm like, don't shade the night sky, and then I'm starting to shade everything.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Good.
Oh, we have to go. We gotta leave.
Like everybody?
No, just me and Luke M.
Okay.
Do you or you want to hold up your night sky?
Oh, we didn't have paper or pencils over here. So
Oh, I see.
Bummer, dude. Bummer.
I'm
have you-
probably gonna draw this at home though, and if I
Okay,
can next
good.
week, I'll bring it in for you guys.
Please
Okay, yeah,
do.
good.
I know we would love to see it.
Yes.
Yo, Luke, thank you so much, man. We'll see you next week.
No, thank you.
Sure.
All right, see ya. Have a nice day.
You too.
You too. Thank you.
While we're here, guys, I think we might as well do that little owl because he's like super cute. And maybe I'll show his whole body. And this will be like the last thing we do with this guy. We'll do this little, what is he standing on? Oh, he's standing on top of a telescope. Okay. Do I even have room for him? I do. I'm gonna put him over here. So don't expect to get the entire thing finished. This is a sketch class, so you just kind of sketch cool things as you see them. And I'm gonna start, if you guys wanna stick with me here, I'm gonna decode the I'm gonna decode this owl. That looks good. I can't tell who that was, but hold that up again.
Oh, who was that? Let's see. Who was it that I missed? Was it William? Hold that up, William. Oh my gosh, you could have given me a warning, like I could have been startled or scared or something. Nice done.
Cool boys. All right, so I'm gonna draw my owl a little bit bigger, so you guys can see. And I'm gonna start first with an oval and make this oval really thin because we have to turn this line into feathers. And we're gonna do a triangle for the beak, the upper beak that is. Triangle for the upper beak. And we're gonna have a triangle for the lower beak. Look at that sky. Yeah, okay, so if you wanna switch to a different sheet of paper or turn on the back for your owl, or you could squeeze them in at the bottom. That'd be kind of fun. So with birds, I like to start with the beak and then put the eyes in relationship to one another. So I have the beak in the middle, upper beak, lower beak. And then we got to do two eyes. We'll do an eye on this side, an eye on that side. And right now, it doesn't look much like an owl. Owls have these like really gorgeous patterns around the eyes. So I'm going to start with that. And it should start to look a little bit more like an owl. I did add a little shade inside the eye. Now, they have what look like horns, but they're actually feathers. And they look like ears, but they're actually feathers. And I'm just going to put those two little spiky things at the top. And it's very characteristic of a owl. So we have two characteristic components of an owl. A, it's out at night. So 3, out at night. B, it's got these rings, these ovals around its eyes, oval of feathers, and it's got the 2 horns. So now I really want to make the side of the head look like it's got feathers. So I'll make it feather-like. And it looks like he's wearing a shirt, but it's actually a mushroom. You see the mushroom that's hidden inside the arm?
Ah.
Yeah, this is like a hidden picture. So
But it really also reads as a lovely, or rather quite handsome vest.
Does look really like a vest. I made the body an oval, and then I'm going to do his claws. 1, 2, 3 ovals. And then 1, 2, 3 ovals. You can actually even give them, owls are killers, and they have talons.
Mr. Twist,
They're raptors. Yep.
I was gonna say that this owl is pretty amazing.
It's a pretty amazing owl. I'm glad you like it. Did you have a good? Are you starting with a good sketch?
It's okay.
I mean, it is a fun owl so far. It's so interesting because whenever people sketch cartoons, everyone like writes them off. They're like, oh, it's just a cartoon. It's like, that's easy. Like, it's not hard. But you have to realize like there's so many characteristics of different animals that if you don't get them, if you don't record them, then they don't look like the animal that you're going for. I'm going to sit out the, one of the things is that the owls also have these really epic patterns on their bellies. And I just want to realize that. And then we'll make his wings up. So we'll do a inner part of the wing, which will start as a rectangle. And then we'll do these. How many long feather tips, shorter feather tips, and just keep getting shorter as they get closer.
That owl is too cute.
I am a fan of the owls. I think
Yes.
I think at some point in my life, I will keep an owl and have a pet owl.
I thought you were going to say at some point in your life, perhaps you were an owl.
Very wise, very wise.
Ah,
Okay, and while we're at it, why don't we attempt to shade the background a little bit? I really want this owl to be a light owl up against a dark night sky. So I think I'm gonna add a little bit. And then we're gonna switch over to aliens. And they are full of wonderful geometry. Not difficult geometry, Stacy, don't get scared.
you know what? I'm glad you
Beautiful shape.
clarified that.
I know.
Seriously.
I know.
Okay.
Like there's certain subjects that can be really intimidating to people in school, and reading was the scariest one for me. I loved geometry though. All right, guys, 2-minute warning on this one. We'll switch over to our friendly aliens, and the next scene takes place on outer space, on a planet in outer space. So maybe you could incorporate it into this drawing, maybe you can't. We'll see. I do like this night sky though. The artist that's actually working on here, it's for
I
publication.
gotta go.
All right, Grayson, good to see you, man.
Take care, Grayson. We'll see you next week.
Okay, bye.
For publication, artists will use pen and ink a lot of times because it shows up really nicely in newspapers, and when you're making lots and lots of copies. So the way that this artist actually built up the darkness in the sky was through cross-hatching, and you can kind of see it in some of the lighter moments, and he just makes this patchwork. And it's not the worst technique. I mean, it's a really great technique, actually. So cross-hatching for shading allows you to, build up pigment in a way that's like kind of organized. I'm not saying it works with pencil, but it's working. It's working well. And if we had all day, like if we had 3 hours, we could fill out this entire rectangle and it would look great. Ooh, Stacy, I'm going to turn this 1 star into a shooting star for you.
I appreciate it.
You're so welcome. There's actually a hidden pencil in there too.
Yes. I have only seen shooting stars that you have created.
What, you've never seen one in person?
I've not seen one in person yet.
Wow. You got to get outside. You got to get
Well,
outside.
I do.
No, shooting stars are amazing, amazing phenomenon. Kristen and I saw one when we went down to Lake Anna like 2 months ago.
I can only imagine.
I mean, imagine a star shooting across the sky.
It's got to be extraordinary.
That's what it like. Doesn't look like what I drew. All right, gentlemen, you ready to start some aliens? The aliens are fun. They're like a cartoon character, and
Can you, Trevor?
they will make you happy.
Can you lift your drawing up about an inch?
Yes. Oh, let me zoom out a little bit. Is that better? Is
Yes,
square?
it is. Yes, it is.
All right.
Thank you.
Nice thumbs up. Did I show you?
Oh.
Did I show you guys how to
Brendan,
get thumbs
hold
up?
it.
I must have. That was so funny. All right, gentlemen, drawings. This one ought to keep us occupied for a little while. All right, this guy is amazing.
Brendan, Siri started talking to you.
I missed it.
That was so odd. That was really odd.
What happened?
Well, I think it was Brendan, the hands, right? That were, thank you. Can you hold those up again? So I was saying, oh, I think I missed those. Hold them up again. And Siri commented, hold them nice and still. Thank you. Siri
Okay.
was not part of that dialogue. Well done.
All right, boys. I'm gonna start with this guy up here, and he is inside a bubble, which should be kind of funny, but we're gonna design him first.
Oh,
It actually is kind of a fun drawing. I did this with the first group with the older guys, and they did really well with it.
these are too cute. They remind me, I'm not quite sure why. Maybe it's the eyes, and maybe you guys can tell me. They remind me a little bit of Minions.
They do look a little minion-y. All right, let's fire this up. Let's get this going. So the way I started my minion was called Minion Alien. I started with a pair of circles, and then that got me kind of established in how big my alien was going to be. Both of the circles are touching, and then there's like a dot, relatively close to the middle. Now, this is the thing that was a little bit different than some of the other things. I jumped over the head and I went straight to the collar. So there is a space between the eyes and the collar. And the collar is, believe it or not, a trapezoid, meaning that it's got a curved top, two sides, and then a curved bottom.
More math.
Okay. So from there, I was able to then set up the side of the head. And, this guy, you don't have to copy these exactly. If yours is a little bit off, it's like, who cares? It's a cartoon minion. But it's good practice to try to get your, get the lines, somewhat correct. All right, so I'm going to reinforce my shadow. Let's give him some antenna. I mean, he's an alien, of course, and they must need antenna. And then as the trapezoid for the collar was like long and thin, the trapezoid for the body, the torso, or like, I don't know, it could be an outfit too. It could just be as like an outfit. So it's like shoulder to the bottom. That is a trapezoid as well. And apparently this guy works for Mercedes-Benz because he has a Beamer insignia on the middle of his chest. So that's kind of funny. Each one of the guys has a different kind of primal shape. And let's do the other minions. I came to find out have shoulders and elbows. So there's like arm joints. So this one has a shoulder to elbow and then elbow to wrist. And all of the wrists, instead of being palms that are like kind of rectangular or trapezoidal, their palms are round. And this guy's looks like he's got 4 fingers, maybe 3 fingers and a thumb. And then the other side, sometimes your arm can be so straight that you don't see the actual joint. Like you don't see a change of direction. And I think that's kind of what's going on here. So the arm, it's not that it doesn't have a joint. It's just the arm is straight so you can't see it. But the interesting thing about this one is that at the wrist, you can actually see that the wrist is curving. And then that helps to suggest that the arm is actually a cylinder. Cool. Let's repeat the hand. It's going to be a round palm. Looks like it's got a round thumb and 3 fingers on this side. So he's doing an activity, which I don't know what that activity is.
Stop!
Kind of crank. I don't know if he's turning on the machine or turning off the machine, but he's got his hand on a lever. And the nice thing about the lever is that it's kind of made up of the same stuff. It's got a circle and a rectangle. I made, on my paper, I have a little bit of space up above. So I'm gonna add the arc of the little dome that he's inside of. Before I do that, let's get a platform, because I don't know how long his legs are, and you can't even see his feet in this picture, but there's this long horizontal that's going to be the platform where the dome is actually built out of. So you could add his legs, but I think I might just hold off on the leg for a second and draw that platform. And it's just going to be a horizontal. Nice. So however low you made that platform, then that's how long those legs are going to be. If you made the platform really low, he's going to have long legs. If you made it too short, not too short, but if you made it close to his body, he's going to have short legs.
I hope that you gentlemen are having as much fun as I am with these minions.
Stacy, can we see yours?
Oh my gosh. Well, I am still on my first little minion.
Oh, you went color. Yes. 2 thumbs up.
All due to you.
Oh, it's so sweet.
So, gentlemen, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but for years, I wouldn't use color. I was a graphite girl through and through and through. Once in a while, black marker. And Mr. Twist talked about using color a lot. And I wasn't going to budge. I just had a thing about not using color. And I started to very slowly enter the world of color, thanks to Mr. Twist's encouragement. And I am now in love with color. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Cool. All right. So nice minion, dude. I love it. He's got stripes on his feet, or on his legs rather. I actually made stripes on his arms.
Hold that.
And the stripes on the arms made a lot of sense.
Freeze it. Freeze it.
Oh man. All right. I'm a little
Thank
scared.
you.
All right. I'm going to do my dome, and it's a half circle. So my nature is to press hard and to be really confident. I'm going to go a little bit lighter. I'm going to start my dome on the side, on each side, so I can kind of like get a sense of like how high I need to, like I can find the starting on the left. I can find the starting point on the right, based on your own platform. And then you can find the curve in the middle. So I almost have like 3 points, and now I have this like imaginary dome. So I have the starting point in the left that matches my platform, and the starting on the right that matches my platform. And then my antenna were pretty high. So like I'm gonna make my dome higher so that he can fit inside of it. So I don't have a semicircle. I actually have more of an oval. So then I can connect the top to one side, and then I can connect the top to the left side. If you did it a different way, it's okay. I just wanted, my guy wound up being taller. So my dome has to be taller. The spiral thing, I'm gonna add to the right side because I have some real estate there. Looks like some other like mechanism, some other alien function. I can make that lever go to the ground. Cool. All right. Is there anything I'm missing inside of there? Oh, there's a reflection on the side of the dome. It looks like a pill shape, like kind of a curving highlight. I think that makes it look like it's shiny. It's supposed to make it look like it's shiny. So as you have one little minion inside of like a curving dome, let's build the second minion inside of the box. So it's a play off of like the curve structure versus the straight line structure. Now, that being said, I I figured out, I think what this alien is doing. It looks like there's some kind of like satellite thing on the top of his little dome, and he might be turning on that satellite. All right, so I'm gonna finish that then. There's this layer. Looks like there's 2 flat discs and then a satellite dish. So 2 flat discs and then a satellite dish, which is kind of like a semicircle. And if I'm going too fast, let me know. If I'm going too slow, let me know. That is like such a nice page of action.
Hold on, Big John. Hold still.
John. My name
Houston, are
only
you
come on
seeing
when
this?
Okay, so there's this triangle and then there's the satellite dish. All right, that fits on there.
Nice.
That fits on there. So this is going to be a little bit different. The way I'm sketching my, oh my God. Stacy, Michaela
Did I just miss someone?
Michaela just got on. That's great, dude.
Hold on, Brendan. Hold that nice and still, attack guy, and freeze it. Thank you, Michaela. Michaela's in?
Well,
Where's
she's
Michaela?
not in class until 3, but she got on really early.
Oh.
I'm not
Okay.
gonna let
Hello,
I'll
Michaela.
let her in later. Okay, so gentlemen, the last couple minutes that we've got here, let's just think about really basic shapes. So the platform is going to be a rectangle. The legs are going to be rectangles. The body is going to be a trapezoid. The collar is a trapezoid.
Bye, Mr. Twist.
Similar. Hey guys,
Have a great week.
if you guys want to hold up your pieces, do you guys have to go soon? How much time do we have?
Stacy.
Does anybody know how much time y'all have? I think somebody froze. All right, I'm just gonna keep working until the end. If you're leaving, just hold your piece up and Stacy can photograph it. All right, so the platform and then the head. This guy looks like he's actually wearing glasses. Oh, that's what they
Henry,
are.
hold that up again, if you will.
They're hidden images.
Oh, that's your hand. Sorry, Henry.
All right, rectangle. Trapezoidal body.
There you go. Henry, hold that nice and still. And freeze. Well done. Thank you.
Trapezoidal collar. And then I think this guy is wearing eyeglasses. And he's either wearing eyeglasses or they're like hidden. They're part of the hidden image thing. Anyway, they're fun. And this is where our minion, the one I'm sketching right now, really does have shoulder to elbow, elbow to wrist. And he's got his hands on his hips. So shoulder to elbow, and then elbow to wrist. And then we'll do the palms. Thumb and 3 fingers. Shoulder to elbow, elbow to wrist, circular palm, thumb and 3 fingers. Wow. I like this guy. Wow, look at that page. Stacy, we got a couple of images.
I just finished
Cool.
this just because I was so into it, and so I just.
Then hold that nice and still. And a little further
glad you
away
did.
from your screen.
And that goes for everybody. Finn, great
freeze it.
work. Like, if you want to
Nice.
sketch your own thing, or like
Thank
finish
you,
the project
Finn.
to develop it, you're more than welcome to do that. All right, stripes on his legs. He's got a triangle decoration on his torso. And then I guess this is the top of the box. Maybe it's a box. Maybe it's a window. Maybe he's got like a square window. rather than a curving window. I like that. Whoa, that is a nail. There's a hidden picture in the side of the
Yes.
window frame. I will add a nail. That's fun. Cool. I like my guy. What am I missing? I could give him some eyes. He might look cooler that way. I like the eyes. He's not doing anything. It looks like he's just like posing. Ooh, there's a whole nother guy underneath. There's a watermelon up above. Look at that one.
Oh, one of my favorite fruits.
And each one of those seeds is kind of a teardrop shape. I don't know what that thing is. Do you want me to zoom out more so you guys can see everything?
Yes.
There's more. The older guys, this is the one, this guy down here. The one at the bottom is what we drew, the older guys. Yeah, you can ask a question. Who's that?
Okay. Oh, I think the watermelon is an elevator. It definitely looks like one.
Oh, yeah,
Does look like that.
definitely.
I'm zooming out even more. Whoa, you're adding to that. Looks good. Stace, you get a picture of that? He's
Yeah,
got
Declan, hold that away from the screen a little bit more and hold it with both hands so it's nice and yeah. A little bit up and toward you. Yep, freeze it. Thank you. Another thumbs up.
yeah, these
Oh
are
my
cool.
gosh.
Look at that owl. So
Wow, for the owl. Yeah. You're having fun
Ooh.
today, huh?
Who did the owl? I know.
Yes. Did you have a question?
No, he
Or
was.
you're right. Yes,
I was,
absolutely.
I was
You're
making.
having a lot
I
of
was
fun
making
today.
a pun. I was making a pun with who did the owl?
Ooh. Aha.
Yeah, I like that elevator idea. I like the fact that he could be inside of an elevator. Could make that like all the buttons. Different layers. Looks like there's some rivets. A whole nother structure behind here. So, gentlemen, towards the end of class like this is where you can really, you can really make it your own. There's I zoomed out so that you can see so many more elements that you could add to your picture. There's like this like some kind of like almost looks like a lens to a camera that's got these little levers attached to the side. There's like a door here. There's like a triangular roof on this side to like, this other minion that's coming out of it, like a silo. It almost looks like a silo. As far as the structure goes, it does look like this thing is metal and it's like all riveted together. So that might be one of the things that you could, use. You look for these little decorative, there's like this row of triangles underneath the second minion, second alien. Just kind of curious.
Oh, I just noticed that one reaching for another lever with his foot up in the air under the first two.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a whole nother layer. Whole nother set of levers. Whole nother set of rivets. The rivets are just like a row of evenly spaced circles. I think it's like the regular spacing of it that makes it feel like it's industrial. You know, it was all measured and calculated. More rivets down this side.
Actually, I
Okay, guys,
did the
I think that,
Okay, great to see you.
I think we're getting close to the end of
Was
class.
that William? You want to hold anything up before you leave?
Great work today, though.
Yeah, look forward to seeing you next week for sure.
Oh, you've got that filter on.
Oh, Big John, did you hold that up and then down really fast? Or
Bye,
did I
Mr.
imagine that?
Twist.
Hey guys, well, have a great night. Have a great week. See you next week.
Too.
Oh,
Yeah,
hold that nice and still. Oh
that's
my
not a
God.
space.
And
That's
a
not
little
space action.
further away from you. A little, yeah. And freeze it. Nice.
Yeah, these guys found the right class for sure. Good work.
Mr. Quest, can I see yours again? Oh, yours is up.
That's as far as I went. Stace, I'll call you in a second. All right.
Good.
Signing off.